Good afternoon and welcome to ICU TV Lunchtime News. Here are the headlines. Zambian pastor Mourns' son killed in Canada's school shooting. A 3-year-old dies in Bauleni road accident. UNDP to support ECZ ahead of 2026 general elections. In international news, South Africa to deploy troops to tackle crime gangs. In sports news, Red Owls to extend lead with Derby win over Napsa Stars. With the news in details, my name is Ernest Daka. A Zambian pastor based in Canada is mourning the death of his 12-year-old son, who is amongst the victims of a deadly mass shooting in the rural community of Tumbler Ridge, British Columbia. Canadian police say the attack, which occurred on February 10th, left several people dead and more than 2 dozen injured after a gunman opened fire at Tumbler Ridge Secondary School and a nearby home. Authorities confirmed that the suspect, 18-year-old Jesse van Roetseler, later died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Among those killed was 12-year-old Abel Mwanza, son of Pastor Abel Mwanza, who shared an emotional tribute describing his son as respectful, hardworking, and devoted to his faith. Police say the motive for the attack remains under investigation as the community continues to mourn one of the deadliest mass shootings in Canada's recent history. A 3-year-old child, Daliso Zulu, died yesterday morning, 15 February 2026, in a road accident in Lusaka's Bauleni township. According to police public relations officer Godfrey Chilabi, the incident happened around 9 hours when the child was hit by a Toyota Hiace minibus while crossing the road. The child sustained fatal injuries and was pronounced dead upon arrival at Bauleni Clinic. Preliminary investigations indicate that the accident happened as the child attempted to cross the road. The body of the deceased has been deposited at the University Teaching Hospital mortuary, pending a post-mortem examination. The United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, has pledged technical support to the Electoral Commission of Zambia to strengthen its capacity and build public confidence ahead of the 2026 general elections. UNDP Assistant Administrator and Regional Director for Africa, Ahona Aziakonwa, said good governance is foundational for development, underscoring the need to support the electoral body in competently managing and safeguarding the integrity of the electoral process. Ms. Eziakonwa described Zambia's democratic environment as impressive, noting that the country stands out as a shining example on the African continent. She made the remarks during a bilateral meeting with President Hakainde Hichilema on the sidelines of the 39th Ordinary Session of the African Union Assembly in Addis Ababa last evening. Meanwhile, President Hakainde Hichilema expressed confidence that Zambians have seen the difference and understood the reforms his administration has implemented. He highlighted key initiatives such as the free education policy, which he said is designed to improve citizens' welfare and deliver long-term benefits for the country.
Focusing on framing a program currently which will focus on an expansionary mode, right? As my colleague said, growth, so that we look at the critical sectors, of course, mining, energy, as you are aware, that we were hit by energy shortages during our reform process. And the reform is not an event, it's a process. It continues to go. So we have pushed in a lot of reforms there to move away from a mono energy dependence hydro, which is what we were quite happy that it was green energy, but very vulnerable. So we suffered the waste drought in living memory, and then we got our generating capacity wiped out. We got our food insecurity injected into us as a result of that. So we flipped the coin and said we take the opportunity rather than mourning and groaning. So now we pushed in the reforms, dramatic reforms. We're ahead of many on the continent, many countries with reforms in the open access.
Congratulate you and commend you also for now being the face of democracy on the continent. You know, we've seen incredible deepening of democratic culture.
The Ministry of Health has expressed concern over the rising cases of syphilis in Solwezi district and across Northwestern Province. Provincial Health Director Laxwan Chidikita revealed that infections have been increasing over the years, with Solwezi recording 1,644 cases in 2022, rising to 1,985 cases in 2023, slightly dropping to 1,707 in 2024, and increasing again to 1,739 in 2025. Munilunga district recorded 2,112 cases in 2025 alone, making it one of the hardest hit areas. The situation is particularly worrying due to the growing number of babies born with congenital syphilis. Health authorities are calling for urgent, coordinated interventions and strengthened prevention efforts, including improved access to condoms to curb the spread of the infection. We go on a break, and coming is sports news and international news. Stay tuned.
The Information and Communications University is complementing government effort in promoting legal and safe mining for all Zambians. ICU is offering a short practical training course to artisanal and small-scale miners and those who intend to venture into mining. This training covers identification of rocks and minerals, mining operations and equipment, health and safety in mining, environmental protection, licensing and compliance. Qualifications: National Registration Card NRC. Apply now at www.icuzambia.net. For more information, contact the ICU School of Mines, Department of Artisanal and Small-Scale Mining at +260 763 302 596 or +260 973 263 492. For analysis of mineral samples, contact the ICU School of Mines Laboratory at +260 973 263 492 or +260 977 833 434.
Welcome back. In international news, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa said he would deploy the army to help the police fight criminal gangs and illegal mining in the country. Gang violence is a major problem in South Africa, which has one of the world's highest murder rates. Organized crime is the most immediate threat to our democracy, our society, and our economic development, Ramaphosa said in his annual State of the Nation address on Thursday. He added that he will be deploying the South African International Defence Force to support the police. In his address to Parliament, Mr. Ramaphosa said he had directed the chiefs of police and army to draw up a plan on where our security forces will be deployed within the next few days. He said the military deployment would start in the provinces of Western Cape and Gauteng, home to the cities of Cape Town and Johannesburg, because of the rising gang violence and illegal mining, respectively. We take another break, and coming up is sports news. Stay tuned.
We kickstart your day with our headline pick with the top stories making news.
Then we go deeper in our story pick where we break down issues that matter the most to you.
From the Health Desk, we share simple tips to keep you healthy and informed.
For plus a fitness minute to get your body moving before the day begins.
And trending now, what's hot on social media?
Hello Zambia, my name is Amina Mutambo.
And I am Moluwa Eric J. Mwanamujende, and we bring to your screens the ICU TV Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. In sports news, Red Arrows Football Club have extended their lead at the top of the MTN Super League to 4 points after defeating Napsa Stars 2-0 in a week 20 Lusaka derby. Albert Kangwanda, the hero of the match, Albert Kangwanda was the hero of the match, scoring a brace with the goals in the 55th minute and in additional time, giving Arrows bragging rights over the pensioners. The victory moves Arrows from 36 to 39 points, while Napsa Stars suffered their 8th defeat of the season at Sunset Stadium. At Sunset Stadium, Zanaco beat Prison Leopards 3-0, while Nchanga Rangers edged Mufulira Wanderers 1-0 to maintain their place in the top 4. Elsewhere, relegation-threatened Mutondo Stars recorded their 3rd win of the season with a 2-1 victory over Muza. In Chililabombwe, Konkola Blades came from behind to defeat Kantanshi Dynamos 2-1. That sports item brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, here are the stories making headlines. Zambian pastor Mourns' son killed in Canada school shooting. A 3-year-old dies in Bauleni road accident. UNDP to support ECZ ahead of 2026 general elections. In international news, South Africa to deploy troops to tackle crime gangs. And in sports news, Red Arrows extend lead with derby win over Napsa Stars. Thank you so much for staying tuned to the Lunchtime News Bulletin. Be sure to tune in to our main news at 20 hours. God bless.